TQCQ, Kilo 4 Sierra Delta Victor, Kilo 4, Sheriff's Deputy, Vance County, QRZ. Welcome to QSO. What a cop.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTube. It's Tony, K4SDV, Kilo 4 Sierra Delta Victor. Today, what we're going to be building is a VHF, UHF mini duplexer. For those of y'all that like to work satellite, it's a very small kit, under $15. I will post a link in the description in case you guys want to pick one up, but it's looking at the contents of the package, as you guys can see, very small little duplexer for working satellites. So we're gonna hop right in to the build here. If you don't like winding toroids, well, you're gonna have to wind some toroids. It's not difficult. It just takes practice until you build your competence in winding. Now, if you've seen the bandpass filter videos, tuning the duplexer is, I'm just going to cut the whole thing open. I'm really not going to reuse this bag. Tuning the duplexer is the same as tuning a bandpass filter. The steps are exactly the same. Oh wow. That's small. Okay. Get a little face for it. We've got here some toroids, some magnet wire. By the way, this is an SMA, so you're going to have to get SMA to BNC connectors. That's if you use BNC, if not SMA to SO239s. But SMA to BNC, it'll be SMA to BNC male, and it just screws right over. I think they're like $4.50 on Amazon. They're not too expensive. Working with small parts here. Let me set my soldering iron. I want to be right around 600 degrees. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius. In case you're watching abroad, you can Google it, find out. Us Americans, we still use the imperial system. We're kind of kinky, we're still on the feet, but okay. Alright. Okay, there's nothing in here that I need. Let's take a look at this board. One toroid, two toroid. Alright. We're going to be dealing with some very small capacitors as well, or surface mounts. I got 3 in here, 210. So I had to guess on my surface mounts. I am going to say I'm going to cut this package open is what I'm going to do. Pull that apart. Rather annoying. And the cool thing is, if you do not have an LC or LCR meter, the math is already done for you turn-wise. These little turrets, 9 turns, and then you're going to have to make a 3-turn air coil. So it's simply going to be 1 turn around, 2 turn around, 3 turns around. Simple. So this looks easy enough. We'll start with our surface mount first. I'm not going to use any flux because there's flux in our wire. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tin one pad, place the capacitor on the pad after it's tinned, and do the other side. And that's about all we need there. Put some solder on there. A little bit more on it there, okay. We're going to start with this little guy first. Ooh. Man. Grab the tweezers. If this thing falls out and hits the floor, it's a wrap. I will never be able to find it again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work close to the table. Get this package open. And I'm going to dump this out into my hand. And then I'm getting up close to the camera so you can see how small some of the components are that we have to work with. I haven't completely got the package open. Okay. The outer layer of plastic. Oh, let's see. What do I have here that you all might be familiar with and reference in? This is a CR2016 battery. It's a little button battery. So for reference, so you can reference the size and see compared to this little button battery how small that capacitor is. In reference to a dime. This dime looks huge. Alright. So what I'm going to do, simply put it in place. top of the solder. And what I'll do is I'll heat the solder, heat the pad from the bottom. Somewhat ambidextrous. I'm sorry if I'm getting in the camera view. Y'all can see later. And that is on there. And I'm going to spin this. Get the other side, this side soldered up real quick. I'm just going to flow a little bit more solder onto there. Make sure we get a good connection. And at 600 degrees, you don't need a really long time to heat your solder. It's not as straight as I would like it, but it's there. It's on there. Actually, that's going to bug the crap out of me. You know, we're just going to live with it. Okay, that's our first. I have two smaller ones. It's in the pad. Putting down the first one, I always say it takes the longest amount of time. Okay, or I saw another one of these little jokers out of the package. When dealing with these little surface mount, tweezers are your best friend. Okay, another way to do this, if you're having trouble, is get the sides of it. Get one side. And slide it into your solder. So you heat up a pad and then slide the component into the solder, and then push down on it. As you're soldering. Flip this around. It's on there. Clean up the iron tip just a little bit. I think everybody might have their own method of soldering. Okay. I'll save that piece for later. Get this last little surface mount. Now, if they don't go on perfectly straight, that's fine. As long as they're making the appropriate contact with the board. In other words, this side is soldered, that side is soldered, that side is soldered, that side is soldered. Straight's not really relevant, but it's nice when you can get everything to line up. But don't burn up your board or your component trying to get everything to line up. That one went on straight. I should have did it that way to begin with. Set hot iron down. Hot iron burn. up some of the solder. A little bit of flux. Just a little bit. And this is no clean flux. Drop on there. Just because I want that solder flowed smooth. And we're going to do the same for the other side. Actually, we're going to do the same for each component. Set hot iron down before I do something stupid. I'll burn myself. And alright. Now it says no clean, but we're gonna clean it anyway. So give me a minute. I'll be right back, and then we'll get into the fun part, winding these toroids and making our air coil. It's me, Tony, K4SDV. Be right back. Hey, welcome back. Tony, K4SDV. This is what your finished board should look like. Now we're going to get to the tuning. So get your Nano VNA. I can't use my Rig Expert. My Rig Expert only goes as high as 6 meters. So in order to tune one of these, if you've seen my bandpass filter video, it's pretty much the same thing. All a Duplexer is basically 2 bandpass filters. So the radio side, I'm going to connect this here. Radio. And we figured out what this is. This is a gasket. So if you want to just line up, this goes like that, so you can attach it to something. So that's your gasket, like a broomstick or something. I'm actually going to put this probably in a little case, but you're going to need your dummy load. Actually, you know what? So that's its flush. The solder. This will actually go in my solder bucket. I actually have a little, I guess you call tinning. Hey, it's Tony, K4SDV, and get the focus going. But that's our completed filter, ready to go. I was confused as to what this piece was. EnVee, that's the person that came up with the kit, and that's a gasket. I guess he built an antenna for working satellites, and he used a broomstick for the boom, or a piece of wood. So this is so you can secure that, and it has a gasket. Now my next step is we're gonna 3D print a case, and I'll just run the SMAs, radio 70 centimeter VHF, and I'll just mark them on the case, and it'll run through that way. I don't have to worry about the windings on any of the towards or the coil getting bumped and changing the SWR. I actually ran out of disk space while I was tuning the little air coil, and on 70 centimeters 440, it's almost 1-to-1 across the satellite portion of the band, and across the VHF portion we're at 1.20. So hey, it works for me, and now I don't have to use a big old honking thing like this when I'm not running more than 10 watts. He says on the VHF side he's got it up to 80 watts, and he's got quite hot. So guys, this is meant for HTs, 10 watts, 15 watts max. But yeah, it sure is a whole lot lighter than this thing. Well, that's the end of this build. I will post a link to eBay where you can pick this up straight from the creator. Until next time, take care. God bless. This is Tony, Kilo 4 Sierra Delta Victor, Kilo 4 Sheriff's Deputy, Vance County. Peace.